new way. Gonna live my life all in your.
Good morning and welcome to this edition of Cover Your Assets. Around the table today, we've got Jason Walgreg, we've got Todd Ricker, and Craig Nestor. Now, you are looking at investment property short sale specialist, financial strategist mastery, and also foreclosure defense. Gentlemen, good morning. How you doing?
Great.
Thank you. We have a great show planned today. We are going to continue the winning streak, and we are going to speak specifically about tactics, regardless of what your position is or where you happen to find yourself in this economy. Using your home as a vehicle, the home ownership, will give you some real tactical information today on how you can win from whatever position you're in. Jason, that's...
You know what? Right now is a time of opportunity, and whether you're a first-time home buyer or you're a first-time investor, with interest rates at historical lows and property values down to a point where you can immediately cash flow if you're an investor. It is cheaper to own than it is to rent in most major markets in the United States. So opportunity is now.
It's a huge, huge opportunity. And I think that a lot of people are so stressed right now, guys, with what's gone on in the economy and all the different changes that people have been through. It's really kind of hard to see the opportunity, but that's what Cover Your Assets and this team is really all about.
A lot of the time, the very first part of winning is being in the game. And we have to engage now with a strategy that is on 2011 terms, not the terms you want, not the terms in 2005, but an actual tactical strategy that forwards you financially, and we're going to uncover some of those tactics today.
And see, Craig, you just said something really interesting, being in the game. And what I think a lot of people don't realize and probably have a hard time getting their heads around right now, being in the game means even if you're in a terrible situation and you feel like you've not only been benched but completely injured, no, it means paying attention to what's going on right now and getting the kind of expert help that we offer here, right, Todd?
My piece for all of this is to have yourself in a position to know where your finances are, so that when you make decisions about moving forward and taking advantage of this market, which tremendous opportunities in this market, but you have to be solid in your thinking and solid in your understanding of your finances to be able to take advantage, so that when you make a commitment to buy a piece of property, sell your home, buy investment property, whatever the case may be, that you feel confident when you make the decision that you can sustain the payments and that it's a good financial move for you. That's really all about managing your personal finances and making decisions from a position of financial accuracy. It's the most important thing you can do. And if you are doing that, then you're going to be in a great position to take advantage of the economy and what may be in future, looking back, one of the best opportunities maybe of your lifetime to succeed and build net worth in this currently depressed market.
And see, it's interesting because we're going to talk about investment property benefits. We're going to talk about Craig's specialty about families in crisis and should they stay in their home, loan modifications, deeds in lieu, things like that. All the things that really are hitting the news, that are hitting home and our pocketbooks today in the show. But, starting out, Todd, I think one of the most important things we need to get out there is I've had conversations with a few of your clients, and I am amazed at how they have shared their stories, and they've started out in pretty tough scenarios, really riddled with debt. I remember an attorney with crippling student loans, and you got her through to where she could actually qualify and buy a home in a relatively short time. So let's start out the show today on Cover Your Assets, 855-835-8500. That's 855-835-8500. Or meet us online at coveryourassets21.com. But let's start out today, Todd. Who's winning in our win-win situation with financial turnarounds?
Well, again, it's shocking how successful a person can be once they take control of their personal finances. Too often, mentally, people feel as though they're spinning out of control. There's no way that they can manage the situation. And for as long as they continue to feel that way, they're right. It will be that way. Once you come to the conclusion that here's the worst case scenario, I can deal with that, and you take control, pick the lesser of evils, get yourself on track financially, begin to manage your money and control your spending, it's shocking what you can accomplish. Paying down debt is a doable thing if you know how to manage your money so that you can flow that additional discretionary income towards the acceleration of debt. And that really, at the end of the day, is what it's all about, to eliminate expenses and increase income. By doing so, you increase the amount of money you have to work with, and of course, then you build net worth. That's what it's all about. Whether it's real estate or anything else, it doesn't matter. You've got to have cash flow to work with, eliminate debt, minimize expenses, increase income. Now we've got something to talk about.
It sounds so matter of fact, though, Todd. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people are, to put it lightly, chagrined when they come into your office. It's amazing when I talk with your clients to hear the relief and really the jubilance in their voices after they've gone through this process. Talk about how empowered people go, or rather get, after they've been through your process, and how they couldn't believe that they maybe waited too long or so long to get in touch.
It is that matter of fact. That's maybe, financial topics tend to be, by the financial industry, pressed out as though they're so complex the average person can't understand them. Let's get real here. If financial concepts are so complex you can't understand them, well, then obviously it's never going to work. The more simple and straightforward a plan is, the more likely it is to succeed. And when a person knows what the worst case scenario is, they can immediately begin to say, look, I can deal with that. That's, I thought somebody was going to come and take away my home in the night. I thought the credit card companies were going to come and start garnishing my wages, or I was going to lose my job, and all these things. And once you tell a person what the worst case scenario is, it's almost never as bad as they think it is. And then they get to make a choice. And they say, here's the way I'd like to see this progress. I'd like to be able to do this, this, and this. And when I look back 12 months from now, the way I'd like to see this work out is this. And then I tell them exactly how to go about doing that. And they're shocked because, and somewhat dismayed that isn't something that is off-putting to me, because I think they believe that when they say what they want to do, I'll tell them, well, there's no way to get it done. It's not the case. There's a lot of things that can be accomplished if a person sets their shoulders towards the task. And once they do that mentally, then it's, again, amazing what we can accomplish.
All right, Todd Rooker. So tell us then how your system is different from the advice that people usually encounter or get or they expect.
The difference between the information that they're going to get from me is going to be broad reaching, wherein I have to know enough about the legal profession, the tax implications that a CPA would give advice on, the credit issues that a credit specialist would give, the information that a financial advisor would give, all of the different elements and aspects that a person typically would hire an individual practitioner for each one, and frankly would just flat out run out of money. And not only that, every one of these people would have a different perspective on things and often would contradict what the previous practitioner would say.
I'm sure.
So my job is to know enough about all of these things to pull together a holistic strategy that addresses everything and enables a person to accomplish their objectives. You pay down your debt and you get to a point where you're managing your money. I'll tell you what, I don't care if you're going through bankruptcy or foreclosure or short sales, or you never want to be in that position. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's always going to come down to fundamental money management. And this is the thing that is most overlooked, looked upon by financial people as being frivolous. And in point of fact, it is the most singly challenging thing that people will encounter. When you look at managing money, it's not about the math. And that's part of the reason that people overlook it. They believe that any idiot with a calculator can do the budgeting. And if you insinuate that I need help with that, well, point of the fact, I'm offended by the very notion right out of the chute. And I know people think that way, especially given that many of my clients are financial people in their day jobs. So when I bring that up, I'll tell them it's not about the math. It's about the psychology. A simple concept to understand is that the farther removed people are from the physical touch of their money, the more likely they are to overspend. So if you think about math versus psychology, think about this. Statistically, banks have known forever that people who buy items, discretionary items using credit cards, they will spend more money on those items if they use credit cards than those people who use check cards. People who use check cards will spend more money on those discretionary items than those people who use cash. And likewise, people who have cash, $50 and $100 bills, will spend even less because they're reluctant to want to break those bills. So is that math or is that psychology?
Psychology, absolutely. This is Cover Your Assets, and we are here every week. Really, CoverYourAssets21.com is a great place to start. Meet this team. This is financial tactics for the 21st century. It's a new now, and there's a lot that people need to be doing that is just different from anything we've ever known. So go to CoverYourAssets21.com, download your free copy of Todd Rooker's great publication, The Financial Crisis Bible. This is invaluable no matter what situation you're in. You might be hanging on, you might be in trouble, you might be prospering right now. CoverYourAssets21.com and download, or you can reach us really all week long at 855-835-8500. We'll be back with Jason Walgrave, Todd Rooker, and Craig Nestor. We are talking about the win-win situation.